The sun is high over Trelawney Parish, Jamaica, a place of rolling green hills and profound tranquility. It's a corner of the island known more for its agriculture than its athletics. Here, the sun beats down on the dirt roads and humble single-story homes where life moves at its own unhurried pace. This is a place far from the roar of stadiums, a world away from the flashbulbs and finish lines. The air is thick with the sweet scent of mango trees. The landscape is patterned with yam fields. This is the gentle rhythm of rural life. In these streets, children play cricket. They use a makeshift wooden bat, worn smooth by countless games. A squeezed orange often serves as a ball. Laughter echoes through the warm air. This is where our story begins, not with a global superstar, but with a boy. A tall, gangly boy with a mischievous grin, always at the center of the action, and a boundless supply of energy. Before the world knew him as Lightning Bolt, he was just Usain, the son of Wellesley and Jennifer Bolt. They ran the local grocery store, the heart of their small community. For young Usain, he loved cricket more than anything. He dreamed of being a fast bowler like the West Indian greats he idolized. Running was just a game, a way to get from one place to another, a way to chase friends through the village lanes, a way to chase a loose cricket ball before it disappeared into the bush. Nobody saw the future of athletics in him. Not yet. They saw a happy kid, full of life, growing up in a close-knit community where everyone knew your name. This story isn't just about the track, it's about where it all started. It begins here, in Trelawney, with the food he ate, the games he played, the values of hard work and respect he learned from his parents. It begins with the unique spirit of Jamaica, a spirit of effortless confidence, an innate sense of rhythm, and an infectious, unshakable joy. To understand Usain Bolt, you must first understand Jamaica, the place that shaped him. This small island nation that consistently produces world-class sprinters, defying all expectations. Is it something in the water, something in the yams that fuel these athletes? Or is it something less tangible, a certain attitude, a swagger born not of arrogance, but of self-belief? A certain approach to life and sport, where pressure is met with a smile. We will explore this question, digging deep into the roots of this phenomenon. We'll uncover the cultural ingredients that combine to create extraordinary speed. Because the story of Usain Bolt is also the story of his homeland. It's a story of how a place can shape a person, embedding its rhythms and its resilience into their very soul. And in turn, how a person can reshape the world's view of that place, putting it on the map for a reason beyond its beauty, for its unparalleled greatness. This is a story about an outlier, a narrative that runs against the grain, defying expectations at every turn. It's the story of a man who didn't just challenge the conventional wisdom of sprinting, he shattered it. At 6 feet 5 inches, Usain Bolt was, by all athletic science, an anomaly. He was considered too tall, far too tall to ever be a world-class 100-meter sprinter, a discipline dominated by shorter, more compact athletes. His long limbs, the experts said, were a biomechanical disadvantage. His start would be too slow, too cumbersome. They argued he could never generate the explosive power needed to burst from the blocks and compete in the crucial first 30 meters. But Usain Bolt did not just defy the experts. He made them look foolish. He didn't just bend the rules of the sport, he rewrote the entire playbook. To understand how, our journey will follow a timeline, a path we will call the Roots to Records timeline. It connects the carefree boy playing cricket in the dirt of a small Jamaican parish to the global icon striking his two-die world pose on the world's biggest stage, a symbol of unmatched dominance. We will start at the very beginning, digging deep into his roots. We will explore his upbringing in the rural parish of Trelawney. We'll see his close-knit family life, and we'll witness the early school competitions where his raw, untamed talent first became impossible to ignore. We will meet the coaches who saw a flicker of greatness in the lanky, sometimes reluctant teenager. We will see how the supportive, vibrant, and proud culture of Jamaica nurtured not just his spirit, but his supernatural speed. This first part of his story is crucial. It lays the foundation, the bedrock for everything that follows. It shows us that champions are not just born, they are raised. They are the product of 1,000 small moments, a community's belief, and a network of unwavering support. From there, our timeline will accelerate, charting his meteoric rise. We will trace his path from a promising junior to a global phenomenon who transcended his sport. We will relive the triumphs of the World Championships, where finals became his personal masterclasses. We'll return to the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, the moment a star became a supernova, electrifying the world. Then, to the London Games in 2012, where he defended his greatness with an unforgettable mix of ease and swagger. And finally, to the Olympic Games in Rio 2016, the final flourish that crowned an untouchable legacy. We will analyze his record-breaking races, the moments that left the world breathless and forced us to question the limits of human speed. But we will also look at the setbacks, because no journey to greatness is without them. The injuries that threatened to derail his career, the public and private doubts, and the fierce rivalries that tested his resolve and pushed him to new heights. This is the part of the story where raw talent is forged into lasting greatness through relentless discipline, grueling hard work, and an unshakable belief in oneself. Finally, our timeline will move beyond the finish line, into the chapter that comes after the roar of the crowd has faded. What happens when the fastest man in the world stops running? We will explore Usain Bolt's life after athletics, a transition few athletes ever navigate successfully. We will look at his family, his cherished role as a father, his ambitious journey into the world of business. How does a man whose entire identity was defined by speed find a new purpose, a new finish line to chase? We will examine his entrepreneurial ventures and his quiet, impactful charity work, giving back to the community that raised him. This is the story of a man transitioning from a living legend into a lasting legacy. It is a complete picture, from his humble roots in Trelawney to his record-breaking career on the global stage, and his life today. This is the untold story of how Usain St. Leo Bolt became lightning. In the small sun-drenched town of Sherwood Content, tucked away in the rural parish of Trelawney, Jamaica, life moved at its own unhurried pace. This was a place defined by the rhythms of nature and the strength of its community, where everyone knew their neighbors and the bond of kinship ran deep. It was a life of hard work, and at the very heart of this world stood a small, unassuming grocery store. This store was the lifeblood of the community, run by the respected and hard-working Wellesley and Jennifer Bolt. It was more than just a place to buy rice, sugar, and daily provisions. It was a local hub, a meeting point where news was shared, laughter echoed, and friendships were forged and maintained over the counter. It was the town's living room, and it was here, amidst the comforting scent of flour and the neat shelves of tinned goods, that young Usain spent his formative years. He was not just the son of the store owners. He was an integral part of its daily life. He was, in the eyes of the village, the grocery store boy. His parents, Wellesley and Jennifer, were pillars of their community, embodying the values they hoped to instill in their children. Wellesley was a man who believed deeply in discipline, respect, and the importance of a firm hand. Jennifer was the nurturing heart of the family, a wellspring of warmth and unconditional encouragement. Together, they taught their son the profound value of hard work. This lesson wasn't delivered through lectures, but through their own tireless example. They worked long, grueling hours, opening the store at dawn and closing it long after dusk, always serving their customers with a smile and a kind word. From them, Usain learned about responsibility by stacking shelves until they were perfect. He learned about numbers and honesty by helping at the counter, counting out change into the hands of his neighbors. He learned how to interact with people from all walks of life, observing the respect his parents showed to every single person who walked through their door. These early lessons were not about athletics. They were about life. They were quietly building his character, forging the discipline and resilience that would one day underpin his greatness. They were shaping the man who would stand before the world. The family home was modest, a simple structure connected directly to the store, where work and life were seamlessly intertwined. It had the basic necessities, but few luxuries. For much of his childhood, there was no running water inside the house. Each day, Usain and his brother, Siddiqui, would make the trip to the river, their buckets in hand, to fetch water for the family. This was never seen as a hardship. It was simply a part of life, a daily chore that built not only physical strength in their arms and backs, but also a deep-seated resilience. It connected him to the land, to the very ground beneath his feet, that he would soon learn to cover faster than any human in history. This physical, active upbringing, so different from the lives of many children in the developed world, was unknowingly preparing his body, strengthening his limbs and lungs for the extraordinary demands that lay ahead. In Sherwood Content, life revolved around three core pillars: family, school, and the church. The Bolts were a close-knit unit, their days woven together by shared responsibilities and simple rituals. They ate together, they worked together, and they prayed together. This stable, loving environment was Usain's anchor. It gave him an unshakable sense of security and belonging, a safe harbor from which he could explore the world. It was this security that allowed his playful, mischievous personality to flourish. While his father instilled discipline, ensuring he never strayed too far, his mother understood his boundless kinetic energy. She saw the spark in his eyes and knew he was a special boy, though even she could not have imagined just how special he would become. In this humble setting, surrounded by unwavering love and the simple, powerful values of rural Jamaica, the foundations of a future champion were being quietly and carefully laid, one day, one chore, one lesson at a time.